Have you ever wondered if there's a way to sleep soundly without fearing you'll never wake up? In this video, I'll reveal 4 life-saving bedtime habits for anyone over 70, inspired by the tragic story of a 71-year-old man who died in his own bed. Stick around to learn how to protect yourself from the same fate and rest easier every single night. But if you click away now, you could be missing out on the key to a safer, healthier sleep. Before we start, tell us where you're watching or listening from. If you find this helpful, hit the subscribe button because tomorrow we have new special tips for you. Mr. Harold was a friendly grandpa who lived in a quiet house with a warm smile on his face every day he greeted the morning sun. He always had a soft hug ready for his grandchildren when they ran into his arms after school. He would sit on his favorite chair by the window to watch the birds sing, nodding his head gently to their chirpy tunes. One night, when Mr. Harold was exactly 71 years old, he went to bed with the same sweet grin he wore every evening, not knowing he would not open his eyes to see another day. It was a peaceful night, and the moonlight spilled softly across his bedroom floor as he snuggled under his comfy blankets. His family thought he was resting well because they heard no sounds of distress or trouble, just the faint hum of the clock ticking away. But the morning came, and the sun shone bright through Mr. Harold's window, and still, he remained asleep, not stirring or blinking awake to greet the dawn. When his daughter quietly pushed open his door, she expected to see him reading his morning paper or sipping a cup of lukewarm tea. Instead, she found him in the same peaceful position as when he first went to bed. Tears welled up in her eyes as she realized something was very wrong, and her heart began to pound with worry. She whispered his name, but he didn't respond, and her mind filled with both fear and sorrow at the same time. Trying to keep calm, she reached out to touch his hand, discovering it was colder than she had ever felt it before. The silent realization that Mr. Harold was no longer alive crashed down on her like a tidal wave, and her voice trembled with grief. She sobbed while calling other family members to the room, and soon everyone was weeping together. Neighbors who heard the sad news came over to offer comforting words, and they brought flowers to place by his bed as a sign of their respect. Children who lived on the same street remembered how Mr. Harold used to hand out candies during the holidays, tears brimming in their eyes. The entire neighborhood felt a sense of loss because Mr. Harold was always there, kindly waving hello or sharing simple jokes that made people smile. Many people asked, why did he pass away in his sleep without any warning? And could we have done something to help him stay with us longer? A wise old doctor gently explained that as people get older, it becomes extra important to have healthy bedtime habits and regular medical checkups. Mr. Harold, while always cheerful, might have missed certain routines that help keep the heart and lungs healthy during nighttime rest. The family soon learned that going to bed at the same time each night could be vital for seniors because the body likes a steady pattern. If the body's internal clock is confused, it can sometimes cause hidden troubles that build up over time, especially when someone is older and more fragile. Mr. Harold had a habit of turning in at different hours, sometimes late and sometimes early, which may have added to the strain on his body. If he had a more consistent bedtime, it might have helped his heart and mind stay in rhythm, offering him a safer, sounder sleep. As friends gathered, they all remembered Mr. Harold's gentle voice reminding them to take life easy, but they also realized the importance of establishing bedtime routines for overall health. They saw how quickly life could change if simple daily habits are overlooked, and they felt a renewed determination to be more mindful of their schedules. Some of the neighbors vowed they would start winding down at the same time each night, turning off bright lights and loud TVs to help their bodies recognize it was time for rest. They shared phone reminders with each other to keep track of a healthy sleep schedule so no one would forget how crucial that consistency can be. The news of Mr. Harold's passing spread through the community, and it made everyone pause and look at their own evening routines. Even young people started to think about the future, realizing that getting good rest was not just for the elderly. The local church organized small gatherings where they discussed the best ways to stick to a stable nighttime plan, encouraging older folks to follow a gentle schedule. Storybooks were handed out to grandchildren, encouraging them to read quietly to their grandparents right before bed, creating a calm moment for everyone. This not only helped strengthen the bond between families, but also gave seniors a sense of warmth and relaxation before closing their eyes. A local nurse dropped by to help families set up comfortable bedtime areas, showing them simple ways to dim the lights and keep the room at a nice temperature. She explained that the body's internal clock likes a peaceful environment, and going to bed at a predictable hour was like guiding the body gently into slumber. Everyone kept repeating that they did not want another sad morning where a loved one didn't wake up, and so they took these lessons to heart. Mr. Harold's grandchildren missed his twinkling eyes and soft laughter, but they turned their sadness into a promise to care for their own health and for the health of their elders. They learned that it's never too early or too late to create a bedtime plan that helps the heart and mind rest well through the night. Each day, as the sun began to set, Mr. Harold's memory inspired neighbors and friends to set aside worries and focus on a calm evening routine. They would switch off noisy devices, set their alarm clocks for the same time, and let their bodies gradually slip into a cozy slumber. Some older folks began to feel more refreshed when they woke up because they discovered that a regular bedtime gave them more energy for the day. Grandkids noticed how Grandma no longer fell asleep on the couch in the afternoon because she was finally getting consistent, restful sleep at night. Although Mr. Harold was gone, his life continued to teach people about the value of caring for one's body and mind with kind, gentle habits. They said goodbye to him with heavy hearts, but also with a renewed will to protect each other from silent problems that can appear in older age. The story of Mr. Harold was shared with new neighbors, new families, and even new doctors who came to town, making sure everyone learned from it. This memory reminded everyone that the gift of life is precious and that bedtime routines can be more important than we realize. Because of his story, many seniors discovered that having a regular bedtime is not just about discipline. It's also about caring for oneself with love and respect. In the evenings, they would sit by the window, just as Mr. Harold once did, but now they set a gentle schedule to make sure they tuck themselves into bed at a good, healthy hour. They realized that every person's body, especially in the golden years, needs a smooth and calm pattern to rest and heal properly. And so, the first crucial habit after turning 70 is to pick a bedtime and stick to it each night, giving the body the steady rhythm it deserves. Gentle stretches and little walks before bedtime can help your muscles feel relaxed and happy, much like a soft lullaby for your body. When older folks reach the age of 70, their bones and joints might feel tighter or stiffer, especially after sitting in a chair for too long during the day. Walking calmly around the living room or stretching your arms above your head can let those joints loosen up, making it easier to drift into a peaceful sleep later on. Imagine lightly bending and straightening your knees, feeling each muscle say, "Thank you for helping me release the tension I was holding." Taking 5 slow steps around the kitchen can clear the mind, too, because movement can remind your body that it's safe and free to loosen up. Some seniors like to do simple arm circles or gentle twists of the waist to help blood flow better all the way from their toes to their fingertips. If you'd rather not walk too far, even standing up and sitting down a few times in a careful way can be enough to let your legs feel a friendly bit of motion. This kind of gentle exercise is not meant to make you sweat or breathe heavily. It's just a mild way to say, "Hey body, let's unwind together." When you move like this before bed, you're giving your muscles and bones a sweet treat, so they can rest without feeling cramped or achy. Picture a string that's all tangled up. Stretching is like slowly straightening that string, so everything lies smoothly. Many folks think they should stay still before going to bed, but doing so can sometimes trap small pockets of tension inside your body. By walking or stretching for just a few minutes, those tight spots begin to relax, and your body's little signals of discomfort start to fade away. After a few nights of gentle movement, people might notice that their back doesn't hurt as much, and their shoulders feel more relaxed against the pillow. A relaxed body often leads to a calmer mind, making it easier to slip into dreamland without tossing and turning. Some families turn these small walks into a bonding moment, guiding grandparents by the hand around the house and sharing small, happy stories along the way. This helps the mind to focus on good thoughts, which also encourages a smoother journey into sleep. Others may add slow, easy breathing patterns to the stretching routine, inhaling through the nose and exhaling gently through the mouth while raising and lowering their arms. It can be fun to pretend you're a tall tree swaying in the breeze, letting your arms float up high and then drift back down again. Little children sometimes like to join in, turning the activity into a playful evening ritual that keeps the whole family connected. Doctors often say that gentle movement is like oil for a squeaky door hinge, helping your knees, hips, and shoulders move with less friction. Over time, such small motions can also help improve balance, which is very important for older adults who wish to prevent dangerous falls at night. When your balance is steadier, you won't feel wobbly when getting up in the dark, reducing the chance of tripping over a rug or bumping into furniture. Mr. Harold's story reminded everyone that bedtime habits can be life-changing, and adding simple stretches is a powerful way to keep the body ready for sleep. Some people like to stretch their arms above their head while lying in bed, feeling the spine gently straighten. Others prefer to stand beside their bed and do slow, careful toe touches, bending forward just a tiny bit and then standing straight again to keep from any strain. It's important not to overdo it. Gentle is the magic word here, because your body should feel cozy and safe. Even rocking slowly on your feet, from heels to toes, can be a sweet little exercise that helps ground you. As grandparents everywhere embrace these little movements, they share stories of how they wake up without as many creaky joints or stiff necks. Some older folks say they no longer fear bedtime because they know a small walk and a few stretches beforehand can melt away the day's tension. Nurses in care homes encourage seniors to try out seated exercises if standing is difficult, pointing out that gentle arm raises or leg lifts from a chair work well, too. The goal is to greet your bed with muscles that are no longer knotted up from the day's worries or stillness. Relaxed muscles can also help with breathing, as a tight body might make it harder for air to flow smoothly in and out of the lungs. People sometimes hum a calming tune while stretching, letting their voice resonate softly through the room, adding another layer of tranquility. That hum can help keep the rhythm, ensuring they move slowly and mindfully without rushing. Over time, these habits can contribute to a better mood, because physical ease often leads to mental comfort, paving the way for brighter mornings. Some seniors like to write down their favorite stretches so they never forget them, and they keep this list by their bedside as a friendly reminder. They may also track how they feel each morning, noticing that they wake with fewer aches and a lighter step. The community that once mourned Mr. Harold's sudden passing has become an example for others, showing how purposeful evening routines can bring hope and well-being. The memory of Mr. Harold gently prompts them to remember how precious health is, and how even small acts of care can make a big difference. This sense of shared dedication to nightly stretches connects neighbors, as they swap tips and support each other's journeys toward healthier sleep. Day by day, they celebrate small victories, such as a grandmother who can now walk to the mailbox without pain, or a grandfather who can stand a bit longer without losing his balance. All these improvements remind them that age, though it may be just a number, comes with responsibilities to love and care for yourself thoroughly. And so, as the day's light fades and the first stars appear, seniors and loved ones alike remember to gently stretch their arms and legs, walking a small path to bedtime happiness. With each mindful step, they recall that a flexible body can lead to a peaceful mind, and a peaceful mind is the key to restful sleep. This is why gentle movement is the second vital habit that becomes even more important once you turn 70. It's a softly lit pathway leading right into a night of calm, safe slumber. Eating a very big meal or snacking on sweet treats right before bedtime can make your belly feel like a churning merry-go-round that won't stop spinning. When you're older than 70, a calm stomach is extra important so you can drift into a restful sleep without heartburn or sudden stomach aches. Heavy meals can put too much work on your body, which is trying to slow down for the night and get ready for gentle rest. If you drink large cups of sugary drinks or munch on candy bars late in the evening, your energy might spike, leaving you fidgety and unable to settle down. Some seniors also discover that too much caffeine, which hides not just in coffee but also in tea, chocolate, and soda, can keep them awake for hours. That jittery feeling in your hands or the racing thoughts in your head can be quite uncomfortable, robbing you of the peaceful sleep you need. A calmer approach is to have your last big meal a few hours before bedtime, giving your body plenty of time to handle the food and relax. If you feel a little hungry later on, a light snack like a few crackers or a small piece of fruit can be enough to keep your stomach happy without overstimulating it. Picture your tummy as a friendly helper that prefers not to work hard while everyone else is trying to sleep. It's like turning off the kitchen lights when it's time to rest. Your digestive system deserves a break, too. Some families have begun making dinner the main meal of the day, so that by the time bedtime arrives, everyone is already feeling light and content. They sit together at the table, sharing stories and laughter, making sure to eat slowly and savor each bite. Drinking water is important, but it's best to limit big gulps of it right before bed, so you don't have to wake up too often in the night to run to the bathroom. Still, it's good to stay hydrated throughout the day, just not all in a rush at the last minute. Mr. Harold's family remembered that on some nights, he would enjoy a big slice of pie and a mug of cocoa close to bedtime, which might have weighed on his restful moments. After he passed, they wondered if those late-night sweets had taken a toll on his heart or disrupted his breathing. While no one can say for sure, it reminded the community to be more mindful of what they eat before sleep. Many neighbors began swapping recipes for light dinners and gentle soups that are easy to digest and won't keep them up all night. They found that soups with vegetables and gentle broths could warm the belly without making it feel overly full. Sharing these recipe ideas became a lovely way of remembering Mr. Harold and supporting each other's health at the same time. Some older folks discovered that herbal teas without caffeine, like chamomile or mint, helped soothe their nerves and digestion before lying down. They started a little tradition where they would offer each other packets of calming tea, ensuring no one accidentally consumed the wrong kind. Children also joined in the fun, preparing small trays of cut-up fruits for their grandparents, turning snack time into a sweet family moment rather than a sugary splurge. Over time, many people realized that when they avoided rich, greasy, or sugary foods in the late evening, they woke up feeling lighter and more energetic. Their tummies no longer bothered them in the middle of the night, and some said their dreams even felt calmer and more pleasant. This habit also helps some folks manage their weight or keep their blood sugar levels steadier, which becomes more important as the years go by. They discovered that small changes like skipping that big bowl of ice cream or not sipping soda before bed made a huge difference in how they felt the next morning. With bedtime drawing near, seniors learned to ask themselves, is this something that will soothe my body or will it make me restless? If the answer leaned toward restlessness, they chose a gentler option, remembering how crucial good sleep is to their overall well-being. Medical professionals would visit the community and share posters showing the types of foods that are kinder to your stomach at night, such as oatmeal, bananas, or a bit of warm milk, if one can handle dairy. They explained that an upset stomach can lead to disrupted sleep, and good sleep is necessary for the heart, brain, and just about every part of the body. Some seniors realized their late-night coffee habit was causing them to wake up multiple times, so they swapped coffee for water or decaf alternatives after mid-afternoon. Over the weeks, they noticed their eyes felt less puffy in the morning, and their bodies felt more rested overall. This transformation encouraged others to follow suit, as they saw the cheerful smiles of well-rested elders walking around the neighborhood. One neighbor who used to suffer from frequent nighttime heartburn discovered that stopping spicy foods before bedtime helped her finally sleep through the night without that fiery pain. Small victories like this built confidence in the community, showing them how powerful it could be to choose meals wisely. They wrote notes to each other with supportive words, reminding one another that healthy habits are easier to maintain when friends cheer each other on. Grandkids started paying attention, too, making sure not to offer late-night candy to grandma or grandpa, even if it was tempting to do so. Instead, they replaced it with bedtime stories or soft music, helping to create a cozy atmosphere that naturally lulled everyone to rest. This shift toward thoughtful eating and drinking became another way of honoring Mr. Harold's memory and learning from his sudden passing. It showed everyone that health involves many small choices, and no single choice is too small to matter. Bit by bit, the community's nightly ritual evolved into a peaceful practice of caring for the body as well as the mind. The calmness that came from avoiding heavy meals at night seemed to ripple through the neighbors' interactions, making them kinder and more patient during the day. They had more energy for simple tasks, and older folks felt more alert, reducing the chances of accidents caused by drowsiness. As a result, the entire neighborhood felt a surge of gratitude, realizing that taking care of yourself after 70 can be a beautiful journey rather than a chore. Even visiting grandchildren noticed that grandpa or grandma were more active in the mornings, ready to greet the day with a smile instead of a tired yawn. They practiced mindful cooking together, preparing dinner earlier, and making sure each ingredient was gentle on the stomach. These mealtime shifts led to deeper conversations about life and memories, strengthening bonds between family members across generations. And so, as dusk settled and bedtime grew near, they reminded each other of the wise steps. Let's not eat too much now, and let's skip the sugary drinks. In a world where late-night snacks had once been common, the realization came that happiness could also be found in a calm, content belly. This third habit, avoiding heavy meals, sugary treats, and too much caffeine, became a bright lantern showing the way to a restful night for seniors looking to protect their precious health. A peaceful bedroom can feel like a warm hug, wrapping you up in safety and coziness as you drift into a gentle sleep. Keeping the room quiet with soft lighting and minimal clutter helps your mind settle down when you lie on your pillow. Some elderly folks prefer a small nightlight that guides them if they need to get up, but they make sure it's not too bright so it won't wake them fully. The temperature should be neither too hot nor too chilly, like a friendly hug that's just right, ensuring you don't toss and turn trying to get comfortable. Blankets should be soft and not overly heavy. Because it's 70 or older, it's important to avoid anything that might weigh on your chest or make it hard to breathe. Seniors often check the space around their bed to remove tripping hazards like loose rugs, tangled cords, or random items that could cause falls in the dark. Placing a glass of water within easy reach can be helpful, but it's best to keep it on a stable surface so you don't knock it over at night. This caring setup means you won't have to scramble out of bed quickly, risking a dizzy spell just to get a sip. Some people like to use calming scents, such as a light lavender spray on their pillow, to signal to their brain that it's time to relax. However, strong smells or scented candles might be overwhelming or even unsafe if left burning, so gentle moderation is key. If you have medication to take at bedtime, keeping them in a proper pill organizer by the bed can ensure you don't forget or mix them up, especially if you're sleepy. The quiet hum of a small fan or the soft purr of an air purifier can provide soothing background noise for those who are uneasy with complete silence. Others might prefer wearing earplugs if little nighttime sounds tend to bother them, helping them stay asleep through gentle creaks in the house. Another good idea is to have a list of emergency phone numbers or a phone nearby in case something unexpected happens, but try to keep the phone set to a silent or low volume. This way, if you do need help, it's there, but it won't interrupt your precious rest with loud rings. Seniors who share a room with a partner often talk about their comfort needs together, making sure each person has enough blanket, space, and pillow support. Sometimes, adjustable beds can be very helpful if one partner needs to elevate their head or feet. Still, no matter what bed you have, the key is to create a nest-like feeling that your body associates with rest and safety. Soft music or gentle sounds of nature can be played quietly, but it's best to set a timer so that it doesn't continue all night and disrupt deeper stages of sleep. If the house is prone to outside noises, people might use thick curtains or blinds to reduce distractions from streetlights and passing cars. It can also be wise to keep a small lamp next to your bed for reading or for safely getting up, so you don't have to stumble around in the dark. Some folks find it calming to place photographs of happy memories nearby, letting warm, comforting thoughts fill their hearts before bedtime. However, too many pictures or decorations might clutter the room, so a balance between coziness and simplicity is ideal. Imagine walking into your bedroom and instantly feeling at ease, as if the walls themselves are saying, "It's all right to relax here." This sense of tranquility goes a long way toward helping older bodies and minds rest fully, reducing the chance of nighttime worries. People who once struggled with midnight anxieties discovered that a tidy, welcoming bedroom soothed their nerves, preventing those panic feelings that can appear in the dark. They might also keep a small notebook by the bedside to jot down any worries that creep into their minds, setting them aside until morning. Caregivers often remind seniors to maintain a consistent bedtime routine, turning off bright screens and televisions at least an hour before lying down. This habit lets your brain wave goodbye to the day's bustle, replacing it with a quiet calm that feels like a gentle lullaby. Many older friends join in short nighttime prayers or reflections, thanking the day for its moments and releasing any negative thoughts before sleep. The memory of Mr. Harold's passing stands as a reminder that being mindful of your sleeping conditions can be a literal lifesaver, not just a comfort. While it's hard to pinpoint exactly why he didn't wake up, some believe a more controlled environment might have helped him catch early signs of distress. The lesson learned is that each detail, from the lighting to the medication schedule, works like a puzzle piece forming the bigger picture of health. Families often make small checklists of things to do before bed. Dim the lights, put away sharp objects, lay out morning pills, and keep walkways clear. This nightly ritual is less about fear and more about gentle self-care, a way of wrapping oneself in a blanket of safety. The act of checking everything can also provide peace of mind, reducing tossing and turning caused by nagging worries. Some older folks even place a flashlight under their pillow, just in case they need to move around in the dark, ensuring they have a sense of control over their environment. This level of preparation might sound like a lot, but with time, it becomes a natural, loving routine that feels neither fussy nor burdensome. Relatives and neighbors who visit often comment on how peaceful the room feels, noticing how a well-arranged space seems to invite restful slumber. The transformation from a cluttered or chaotic bedroom into a serene place is both comforting and inspiring, motivating others to follow suit. Seniors report fewer nightmares, fewer startled awakenings, and a generally steadier heartbeat when their sleeping space is set up just right. These changes add up to brighter mornings and safer nights, reminding everyone why Mr. Harold's story rings so true in their hearts. They realize that while we can't control every part of life, we can create a bedroom that nourishes our sense of well-being. Putting slippers or sturdy shoes near the bed, for instance, helps prevent slips on cold floors when you first wake up. Making sure the bed height is comfortable can also help seniors climb in and out without strain or risk. All these details come together, forming a picture of security that invites you to close your eyes with confidence. Keeping your room calm, double-checking your medications, and practicing slow, gentle breathing before bed is like telling your body, "Shoo, it's time to rest and heal." With the lights low and the atmosphere cozy, your heart can find a gentle rhythm, and your mind can drift into sweet dreams. This final bedtime habit, crafting a safe and soothing environment, completes the circle of care that begins with a steady routine, gentle stretches, and mindful eating. Together, all four habits stand as a shield, giving seniors the best chance at greeting each new sunrise with health and hope in their hearts. On your screen, you see two new videos that I'm sure you'll find helpful. Just decide what you want to see and click.